before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akyam that's out here pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. All right, shalom to the sincere sisters as well. All right. I don't have a title for this one just yet. Just, I'll probably put a title to it, once it starts the process. But hey man, another day in Babylon, and you could just see it. It's like witnessing a car crash, but it's happening real slow, and we have to endure it. We have to have patience, long suffering, and it's important to remember those foundational points of enduring, having patience, suffering. These are foundational thoughts, or foundational pillars, I should say, of your walk. You're going to suffer. You're going to have to learn patience. You're going to have to be able to endure a lot. Sometimes it feels like you're dealing with, it seems like the world on your shoulders, but then it's just like, it's still like, man, this world don't give a fuck about your if you're tired, you're hungry, sleepy, frustrated. It don't give a fuck, man. And that's part of the battlefield. That's part of it. It's a big element within this is, I guess, it's a spirit. I didn't have anything lined up to speak about, but it keeps focusing in on enduring, being made hard. We're being made hard. I was listening to the Apostle Gabar and the apostles overall at camp, and they were speaking about, he brought out at Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, about the Lord making our head as hard as theirs. The Lord is hardening us up, man. When I reflect back on my walk, I'm so hardened in comparison. I'm not saying that I'm done hardening up, the Lord knows. I'm pretty sure I'm not, because there's more to go. But in comparison to who I was in my 20s before I knew the truth, oh man. That's how I speak so heavily against that American boy spirit that is basically pulverizing American men. Being childlike, being in a continual space of a little boy. Same thing with our women. Children don't deal. Name me a child that you look at children, you be like, yo, that child has a high level of endurance. He's been tried and he's weathering the storm. That's not what. That's some adulthood shit, manhood shit, womanhood shit. But what we're witnessing is most people aren't being hardened. They're not being strengthening. They're not being tried and chastening of the Lord to be made harder. You got to be hard to deal with what's about to come on this earth. And that's what he's doing to us. Taking losses. You know how hardened you got to be to endure loss? You lost think about any level of loss. Losing is never fun. That's never enjoyable. It's never comfortable. So you got to endure it. That's the bitter. I was meditating on that earlier about the bitter and the honey. I was like, man, I be having to trick myself into the honey now at this point, because But you get, in my point of view of life at this point is really, it's all, you see that this is America, that this is the land of our bitterness. This is the land of our captivity. This is bitter. You look around you, it's nothing but, you know, briars and thorns and, you know, poison ivy, poison oak, very little fruit, very little, I'm saying metaphorically, because we're in hell. So you got to endure it. But with all that being said, you got to endure it. You have to. You got to drink the cup. You got to endure it. You got to let it sit in your stomach and accept it. But the beautiful thing about bitters is when the bitters get into your belly and then you get past the overall taste and you digest it, there's a lot of healing processes that comes from the bitter. So it's not all bad, but at the time it don't feel good. So that's the part of enduring. That's the hardest part of this walk. One of the hardest parts of this walk is actually enduring. Enduring is not easy. Think about endurance sports. How many of you competed on your cross country, long endurance running teams? How many people out here do these 5K, 10K marathons? Those are endurance sports. Your ability to run from one city to the next type shit, man, that's not many people. Everybody love the 100-yard dash, 40-yard dash, get in, get out. But how many people can run for 3 hours? Run the whole day. Ride a bike the whole day. Not many. That's your body. You pushed your body to its limit, and then you kept going to create new limits. That's what endurance is. You know what I want to speak on in the spirit as well with endurance. The scriptures speak about he that basically is within this war entangled himself not with the affairs of this world. And the older I get in this walk, the more I realize how important that is, man. How really important that is. To understand not to entangle yourselves with the affairs of this world. Keep it simple. I get it so much more as I've gotten older, because everything is really a snare and a tear to you. It's a trap. Everything. That's what the American people are waking up to. Those that can see a little bit, they're waking up to the fact that it's all a trap. Pick an angle, and I bet you it's a trap. Go to college. That's a trap. Hell, having a job is a trap. You spending 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, depending on your job and what you're doing, away from your home, your family. You're neglecting yourself. You're neglecting your sleep, your health. That's a trap. You buy a home, you work hard to get a home, so now you're in a mortgage. That's a trap. Now you're in a trap. You're entangled in these things. Now don't be simple. Take care of yourself, take care of your responsibilities, etc., etc. But at the same time, what you can control is probably better to just snip it. That's what I'm learning. Because all these people out here want to do is wear you out. That's all they want to do. They want to wear you thin. They want to make you exhausted from bullshit. That's why you don't entangle yourself with the affairs of this world. Because it's all bullshit. It's all, as King Solomon said, was that Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. All the works, or the 2nd chapter, all the works under the sun are vanity and vexation. All the work is all vanity and vexation. That's why let's just call a spade a spade. When the scriptures speak about Luke 14 about hate, he that hateth not his mother, his father, brother, sister, yea, his wife, your own life, is not fit to be a disciple of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. A lot of us suffer from obsessing over the idea of all this shit. Because when you have it, it oppresses you. It suppresses you. All of it. All of it. Because it's all vanity and vexation. So the things that you do have, the things that the Lord saw fit for you to have, then you lean into it. You support it. You build it up. But you got to be able to know, like, this is what it is. This is my cap. I can only tolerate at this point in my life bullshit from specific people. Your children gonna cause bullshit in your life. I gotta give them my patience. Those are my children. My wife. But when you get outside of that, listen, and I'm not even saying that. Now you're probably like, well, brothers don't be on bullshit with me. If a brother be on bullshit, then that's a problem. Because I'm not trying to be on bullshit with brothers. But I mean just simple issues, because the scriptures say that he that have of a wife care for the things of the world. So when your family brings about a level of worldly bullshit. So that's why it's important to limit who you consider and what you consider family. All that extraness is bullshit, and it's just going to stress you out. That's why the scriptures warned us about not entangling ourselves with the affairs of this world. And really in the spirit, you women, man. You women have a real magnet to the bullshit of this world, to the bullshit. It might not even be you. But I bet your friend, I bet your homegirl is on bullshit. And she be in your ear hijacking. She got your ear hostage. Pushing bullshit in your ears. Trying to entangle you in her fucking web of bullshit. That's why the scriptures speak about as a woman, not being a busybody, a gossiper. Everything is an exchange of energy. You got to realize that. Everything. What you watch, what you listen to, what you entertain, what you engage in. All of this has a pull on you. So what do? You gotta pour in yourself. You gotta water your own garden, right? That's what this world tries to do. It tries to minimize your ability to water your own garden. And I'm not talking about a physical outside garden. I'm talking about your spiritual space, 777. This world doesn't want you to work on yourself. And I'm not even just simply talking about the push-ups and sit-ups and reading books. I'm speaking about simply being able to have a second to yourself, a second in your thoughts, a second of quietness. When you look up what it means, leisure time doesn't have anything to do with you sitting on the PS5. That's not leisure time. Your leisure time is your studies. But most of us barely get leisure time to actually sit and study. It's always something that needs you. Or something that needs your attention. You always got to be somewhere. Do 144. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. See, this is the spirit. Daniel, the 7th chapter, speaks about, and he weareth out the saints. See, I'm not physically worn out. Now, am I physically worn out? Yeah, because it's always a continual thing. We're always in motion. Here it is. We're a couple of hours away from the Sabbath. But how many of us are actually going to be able to keep a Sabbath? None of us are really able to keep a Sabbath in proper order. That's just the truth of the matter. That's why we're under grace. This is what this devil is taking from us. But he talks about this as a holy lamb. No day is a day of rest. There is no rest. You see? Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's no day? You think this devil don't understand that you need a day of rest? Because he don't want you to have a space to reflect. Ask questions. Consider some shit. That's not what he wants you to do. This society don't want you to do that. This society wants you to always be 100% involved with bullshit. That's why the media, Hollywood, movies, music, video games, gossip, celebrity beef, who did this to that, Diddy's trial, Tory getting stabbed, LeBron James, Michael Jordan's coming back to be an announcer, the NBA finals. See? Nigga just playing in a fucking street, man. America is one big fucking amusement park. And it's not by coincidence. It's always to keep you in a fantasy mind frame. Because when you're tired, right? Think about it. You're tired. I'm a victim of this. We're all a victim of this. We're not too over-righteous to speak a truth. Like tonight, that's why I'm doing this lesson right now, because I'm on my way to work. By the time I get off of work, I'm not trying to sit. I'm being honest. I do not. You think I want to when I get home after working and everything that I've done, that I want to sit down and watch a video of something educational? Or do you think I want to sit down and I want to laugh for a second? Or do I want to be entertained by some show? That's the nature of the body. So this devil keeps you in a perpetual state of always being in a space of wanting entertainment. That's this place. So that entangling yourself. That's why the scriptures speak about a quiet woman is a blessing to a man of the Lord. A quiet woman. Look it up yourself. I was talking to my rib about this the other day. Women between the ages of 25 and 64, they did a study. Women speak about 3,000 more words a day than men. 3,000 more words. And I asked my rib, I said, do you think women that are with all of these words and all of this talking, do you think that are they encouraging somebody with these words? Are they building somebody up with these words? Are they blessing the Lord with these words? What are they doing with these words? No, they just talking shit, gossiping, talking shit. That's all they're doing. That's why the scriptures say a quiet woman is a blessing. Because what happens? Me and my rib was speaking on. Right now, I'm sitting in traffic. I bet the majority of these cars that have women drivers in them is a woman is on the phone. A woman is on the phone talking to another woman on the phone about what another woman is doing or not doing. And then that web just spreads out to all women. So all women are always on the phone talking to each other about other women and what other women are doing or not doing. Or what, this is talk. And then what your woman do? She gonna try to talk your head off with that bullshit. That's why women don't like real men, because real men don't want to hear that shit. I'm over here trying to survive. You think I want to hear about what your ain't shit bitch friend is doing? No, no man wants to hear that shit. A lot of the entanglement that we suffer from really is from the entanglement with women. That's why the world is waking up to this shit, and the men are choosing to be alone. Real talk. So again, even with like I say, this is not one-sided. This is to both sides, the sincere men and the sincere women. This is not the time to be entangling yourself with stupid, outrageous, unnecessary bullshit. It's not. Because it's draining. That's just the truth of it. You want to be drained? What part of, like, the scriptures say this is not our rest. So we're drained. When you're not rested, what the fuck do you think that means? What's the opposite of not rested? Stressed. Exhausted. The opposite of rest would be exhausted, right? So therefore, we're exhausted. And what is exhausting us? We're not like, this is not chattel slavery. We're outside beating bricks, which some of us are. Some of us find ourselves in situations as such, but nevertheless, we're not outside laying the foundation for railroads and shit. So how are the saints worn out? How are we worn out now? Think about your life yourself. And what is the most wearing of it all? What wears you out the most? What wears me out is that I always gotta think. You always gotta think about something. You always gotta, okay, I gotta do this. But then the scriptures tell you to think not on tomorrow. See, this is what I'm speaking on. That's the Lord giving you a balance to it. Because how is this society set up? This society is set up to have you always thinking on tomorrow. And then tomorrow after that. That's the goal. All right. So I'm about to close up here in a second. I'm at my spot. But nevertheless, just thinking in the spirit of how everything keeps you mentally pressed, mentally on something. You worrying about everything that you're not able to take care of, and worrying about everything that you gotta take care of. And then you're worried about all the things that you wish you could take care of. And then, oh yeah, your woman, the things that she need to take care of, the things that she should be taking care of. And oh yeah, your children. And oh yeah, other people around you try to put their thoughts on you. You got to worry about your mama, your family, your brother, your sister, your father. You got to worry about all these people. All right. So again, it's just part of the process. It's just all part of what we got to deal with. So, get yourself acquainted with Matthew, the 6th chapter. The Lord said, take no thought on tomorrow. Sometimes you got to just balance out. Part of this walk is really having a hard-nosed strength of sometimes man, fuck it, man. The Lord got it. And believe in that and have faith in that, So with that, I'm going to close this up. I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Ba'Kakodash, Shalom.